In this video, I'll explain why you are not getting a DM back and the importance of an online resume perspective when it comes to networking on social media. I'm LLoke. I'm from Sweden. It's not easy to build connections in an area where it's not a popping scene. I will explain how I've built my connections across the globe using only social media, and I will teach you what actually works when it comes to social media networking, how to reach out to people, how to lock in connections and get placements from wherever you're at, probably not in the States, Atlanta, all this shit is popping. Just so you know this works, I've landed placements with Moneybagg Yo, Kodak Black, Designer, 2K Baby, just from my room here in Sweden. And it all comes down to what I'm going to teach you in this video, which is the online resume perspective. Let's get right into it. The online resume perspective. It's all about optimizing and making your page look like a resume, making it look as professional, aesthetic, and as optimized as possible for people to find you, get to know you, network, see what you're all about, see how good you are making music, and I will teach you this step by step. I also have a bonus step at the end, which is real sauce, so I recommend you watch to the end for that. Step number one is having a professional logo. A professional logo is important because if you notice in DMs, the first thing they'll see is your profile picture. Now, I know this sounds really corny, but the first impression is so important. And if they see you with a billboard plaque, they see you in the studio, in a professional high-end studio, the percentages of them answering is going to be much higher. So the first example is you in the studio. You want a picture of you in a high-end studio, in your own studio, a picture of you just sitting cooking up, because that's going to help them understand that you're not trolling, that you're serious about what you're doing, and that will most likely heighten the percentage of them answering your DM. Now bear in mind, it doesn't have to be a high-end studio, just a picture of you in any studio, just holding an instrument, a professional photo of you, anything that just makes it more clear that you're professional about what you're doing. The key here is to stay professional about it. It's boring, but it's a professional industry, so gotta do what you gotta do. Now depending on your level, depending on where you're at in your career as a producer, you can have a picture of you with your plaques. Depending on if you have plaques, you might not be at that level yet, but it's a great tip and I swear this works. I've tried this myself with the plaques. That's kind of using human psychology in a way, because if they see you with a plaque, they'll know you've reached a certain mastery within your craft. Anything that will heighten your perceived image on the profile picture will help. You can go kind of crazy with this, just as long as it's a picture of you in a professional setting with professional filter that looks good, high resolution, everything like that. That should check off step number one. Now when you're done with step one, we can move on to step number two, which is the bio. The bio is important because let's say you pass stage one, they see your profile picture. Now in some scenarios, they will click into your profile and they will look for who you work with, who you got credits with. This will also bridge into what they can gain from the relationship, because a relationship goes two ways. The key of networking is they gain value from you, you gain value from them. That's how it should be. So if they see in your bio that you have credits with Kodak, Moneybagg Yo, these big artists, they will assume they can benefit from this relationship as well. What many producers do wrong is assume that just a message, hey, can I send you loops, will work. Well, it doesn't most of the time. There's a simple reason why it doesn't work, and that's called value trading. You gotta ask yourself, why would this producer want to work with just me? Why would this producer spend time working with me, my loops, if they gain nothing from it? Now there's an exception though. If you have crazy loops, a crazy sound, obviously what they gain from you is that value in form of loops, samples, starters, midis, FOPs, you name it. If you're starting out, they don't know you, they don't know your sound, where you qualify. So why it's important to have a bio is because you want to be able to value trade. So an ideal DM would be like, hey, I got opportunities for Moneybagg Yo, Kodak Black. Can I send you some loops for your current opportunities? And let's trade. What I notice works when locking in connections is I send loops and they send beats back. And what happens most of the time is they notice I have a lot of placements. They notice I have credits. They notice I have connections. So what happens is they want to keep making beats to my loops and sending it back. So in that scenario, they want to send back beats, send them out to their connections, send it back to me so I can send out to my connections. That's a win-win relationship, and that's what you should aim for. So getting to the point, in your bio, you want to have credits, you want to have accolades, you want to have a title, sample maker, guitarist, picture of who you are, what you can do, what you can provide for them. In your bio, you want anything that looks professional. The key here is to make the bio look clean. That's it. So if you don't have credits yet, if you don't have accolades yet, just make your bio look clean. You can tag the people you worked with. Try your best to optimize your image, optimize your first impressions. That's what's key. You can have credits, accolades, etc. I will put up a picture of how mine looks like so you can kind of base yours off of that. That's it for step two. Moving on to step three. So step number 3 is your highlight reel. Now, if you go into most producers' Instagrams, you'll notice they have a produced by me, a credits. This is to showcase to potential customers, potential clients, who they worked with, their caliber. And if you produced a song that this producer, artist, or someone, if they've heard this song, they like it, it's on their playlist, and they figure out you produced it, now they're gonna instantly fuck with you, they're gonna fuck with your sound. So you'll notice with the online resume perspective, it's just about optimizing. It's all about the percentages of them actually clicking into your profile, seeing the profile picture, and using that as a way to get your DM back, get a better network. Because an ideal network is that you network with people that are in a much higher space than you. The key with this, the key to the social media game, is optimizing your logo, bio, highlight reel, anything you can do to get that first impression, to get them to respond to you so you can get more connections. That's what this is all about. So step number 3 is the highlight reel. Now, depending on what level you're at as a music producer, this will be either easy or hard. So if you haven't done this yet, I recommend just posting all the songs you've produced on, putting them in a highlight reel, posting music videos. If there are music videos with the beats, with your beats, post them in your reels. Just optimizing your highlight reel. Pick a good cover. My example is just like a RIA Platinum logo, so they understand exactly what they're clicking onto, which is my credits. You can put your credits, you can put pictures of you in the studio. You can use my profile as an example again. I have credits as one highlight reel, studio sessions as one highlight reel, charts as one highlight reel every time I've charted, and it's really organized. So if, let's say, a potential producer you've DM'd artist checks into your profile, they see, okay, this guy has credits, this guy has charted, I know where he's at when it comes to his sound. This will be good for A&Rs, artists, customers, producers, you name it. Having a good image applies to everything. It applies to followers. You can get more followers because of that, everything. So this is a small step, but it's important. This is equally as important as anything else. Moving on to step 4. Now, bear in mind, I'm using Instagram as an example, but this applies to every social media out there: Facebook, TikTok, Snapchat, anything you name. The online resume perspective applies to everything. You can use it for everything. Use it to strengthen your brand. The key here is basically strengthening your brand, strengthening your name, so that when you DM people, so after a certain time has passed, people just recognize you. People will know your brand, know your name, know you're established. In the beginning, it's just really good to optimize everything, and you just have to think like an entrepreneur, think like a business. If you notice, like business profiles, they have really professional aesthetics. They have a logo, they have a clear bio, they have call to actions, they have everything they need to look as like a brand, a strong brand. And then they have content, which leads us to step number 4, which is content. So step number 4 is content, feed, and reels. I noticed when I started making content that it's a game changer. This is a great way to get new followers, strengthen your brand, reach out to new people, get more customers, sell more beats, get more emails, get a bigger network in general. For content, you can do cook-up videos, song breakdowns, sample breakdowns, beat breakdowns, vlogs. Depending on what you want to do with your brand, content is the bridge. Content is what will link your brand to what you're trying to come across with, and that will lead you to your correct audience. You want to think to yourself, okay, what do I want to do? Do I want to reach more artists? Then I should probably do beat breakdowns, beat cookups. You should adapt to that audience. Now, if you want to reach producers, you should do loop breakdowns, song breakdowns, so they can understand the caliber of your production, they can understand your sound, they can understand you everything from scratch, they can understand you have a really good ear for music, and that you're sitting on quality music that you can send to them. So depending on the direction you want to take with your brand, you should optimize your content around that. And also a quick tip, make thumbnails as well. You can use CapCut so that your page remains aesthetic and they can understand what they click on before they even click on it. Now this brings us into the feed. Be aesthetic, should match with colors, should be professional, match with your brand, and also reels and photos. So with reels and photos, you just want to have like pictures of you in the studio, fit pictures, and you can do beat snippets, loop snippets, anything that people can scroll into and say, okay, I fuck with this dude and I want to work with him. Content, feed, posts, you want to have that look aesthetic as well, have it relate to your brand. Moving on to step 5. The bonus tip, step number 5, is mutual followers. Now this is something I've slept on until recently, but once you build up momentum in the DM game, once you start putting out content, start getting placements, start DMing more and more people, adding to network, and start getting this momentum ball rolling, you will gain followers. You will gain followers from higher up producers, you will gain followers from people that recognize your content. So once you get the ball rolling, more and more people will follow you, which will lead to more people following you. Because let's say Metro Boomin comes across your profile. They see that 21 Savage is following you. They see that Future is following you. That's gonna really heighten the odds of them also following you. So it's like a snowball effect. So let's say you get followed by Drum Dummy, then probably D-Rock is gonna follow you because they see that they fuck with you. It's kind of like a cosign. You can use mutual followers as leverage. So as you continue to grow your brand, put out content, you have a great logo, great bio. If you do all this correctly, the online resume perspective, that will lead to more mutual followers, and that will lead to more people following you, and you can use that as leverage. Drum Dummy followed me because D-Rock followed me. Now I can hit up Drum Dummy and use D-Rock as as leverage. You can say, hey, I've worked with Drum Dummy before. Is there any way I can send you loops, send you beats, send you FOPs? That will definitely heighten the percentage of them answering your DM and start to work with you. A mistake I see most producers doing is they get the connection, they get the email, then there's nothing more. There's no more conversation. It completely dies out. Now, a game changer I've noticed is you have to stay locked in. Let's say you approach them with, hey, I have these opportunities for Moneybag Yo, Kodak Black, 21 Savage. Anyway, I can send you loops, you can send beats back and we both send them out. Let's say that's your initial DM. Then they hit you with, yeah, bro, let's work. You get the email. The ideal, what you want to do is stay locked in. So you want to say, okay, bet, I just sent the loops. Where you from? Where you based? How long you been doing music? Follow up, start conversation. They want to get to know you, get to know more people. And you want to use that as a means to stay locked in, not just a one-time send, put them on an email list, then boom, gone. You want to stay locked in with them, check in with them, ask how they're doing, swipe up to their stories. You want to stay connected to them, stay on your toes, basically. Keep talking to them, keep sending things. And I promise you that will land more placements in itself. Just staying locked in with the producers, not just disappearing after you get their email, is a game changer. Now, just explaining the mutual followers further. So Max Shooter follows me. Now, this works even better if it's like a staple producer like Max Shooter is. He has a strong brand. He's very well known in the industry. Max Shooter follows me. Let's say another producer who looks up to Max Shooter, watches Max Shooter, knows of Max Shooter's brand and name. Let's say he checks my profile and I send him a DM. And let's say he's pretty big, not as big as Mac, but he's pretty big and he has opportunities, he has more leverage than you. He'll look at my profile, see, okay, Max Shooter is following this guy. That will instantly set off a little, okay, this guy has reached a certain sound, is followed by Max Shooter, which is a really high up producer. I should probably lock in with this guy. So he sees Max Shooter's following me. Now this guy is following me too. Now let's say his friend, his producer friend, sees that this guy is now following me and Max Shooter. Now this guy will probably follow me as well. So you can see the mutual follower is so sauce because it allows people to, it keeps this effect rolling forever. Like it keeps going. You're gonna get more and more followers. More people are gonna get to know your brand just because of mutual followers. And use that as leverage. When they start following you, hit them up with a DM. Hey, let's work, let's lock in. I've sent some stuff to Max Shooter, let's lock in. Who's gonna say no to that? If they know of Max Shooter, they see that he follows you, that's a win-win. So to conclude the online resume perspective, conclusion is it's all about optimizing percentage. So for each step that you do that I've just taught you, logo, bio, highlight reel, brand, mutual followers, everything that will strengthen your online image will heighten the percentage of them responding. Now it's not gonna be 100%, it never will be. You can hit up 1,000 producers and still implement the online resume perspective, but it can still not be 100% hit rate. But the key here is that maybe before you had a 10% chance, of getting a DM back before this video. The key is that now after implementing these steps, you'll be at 50%. After you change your logo, after you name your accolades, after you post reels, content, everything like this that I've just told you to strengthen your brand name and producer name, this will heighten the percentage of getting a DM back, locking in more connections by 40%. I guarantee that more people will DM you back if they see that people follow you, if they see you have professional level content, if they see you have big credits, if they see you have big placements. It will heighten the percentage. And what I've just taught you in this video is the key. It's the key to online branding. The only thing they can go off of when it comes to cross-world networking is your online image, your online resume. The beauty of this method is the snowball effect. So let's say you start at 10%. Before watching this video, you're at 10% chance. Every DM you've sent has had a 10% chance of getting a response back. That's where you started before watching this video. What I want you to do is optimize. Think like an entrepreneur, like a business. Why would they want to work with me? I need to show them why I'm out here. I need to show them why I'm good enough to land these placements. So after implementing all this, right, it's 50%. Now this can vary with your networking methods, how you choose to DM them. After a few months of doing content, sending out loops, locking in, staying connected with people, optimizing your online profile, getting more mutual followers, this will go to 70%. And if you keep this going, you will get to 90%. Now this could be years from when you have major placements and people know of you from your name, from the placements, from the work you've done. For example, Metro Boomin DMs you, it's a 100% chance. It's a 100% chance you will answer Metro Boomin. If not, you're a fool. That's the strength of brand. Now his brand is 100% established. He is the prize. Everyone will answer him. And imagine the leverage he has as a producer, how many connections he has, all of that. This is the only method you need to think of. The online resume method is the key to the online networking game as a music producer. And everything I've taught you in this video is pure sauce. This works. I've done this for the past 3 years. It has landed me placements. It has landed me sales. It has landed me clients. It has landed me so much money. This works. You can trust me on that. You can trust every producer that has a major name. They've done this. They've done the online resume method. The only thing you need to focus on as a music producer, the online resume perspective. That's all you need to know about. Now I also have a blueprint out on my website called the B2B blueprint, the basement to billboard blueprint, where I explain every aspect of being a music producer and how to scale your brand. It's out now. Go check it out. It's in the link below. Hope you enjoyed the video. Peace.